everyone, welcome to Discussion Time with Penis. Have you ever been in a situation where you were unable to communicate what was going on in your mind at the time? You were unable to express yourself, and for that reason, you were misunderstood? If you're just joining us, welcome to Discussion Time with Penis. Here we talk about faith, lifestyle, relationships, finance, and every other thing else. So today we'll be discussing communication and how it affects our relationship with other people.
So, what is communication and what happens when you choose not to communicate? As simple as the word communication may sound, lack of communication can mar your relationship with other people. And by this, I mean your relationship with God, with your friends, with your colleagues at work, parents to child relationship, your relationship with your family, or even the marriage relationship. Let's take an example from the marriage relationship. According to a study done by the American Academy of Matrimonial Lawyers, 67.5% of marriages that break each year, one of the causes of such breakup is due to communication problems. Now, this stat is very alarming. Communication is very vital for any relationship to thrive. Communication is the heartbeat of any relationship. It is a necessary part of life. For relationships to reach their highest potential, there must be effective communication. You see, when there is no communication, there is misjudgment, there is blame, and this often leads to resentment, it leads to anxiety in the relationship, it leads to depression. So let's look at the definition of communication. We'll look at it from the dictionary standpoint and from the biblical standpoint. Now, according to the Cambridge Dictionary definition of communication, communication is the process of sharing information, especially when this increases understanding between people or groups. So basically, I would say that communication is the active process of exchanging information or ideas between people or groups, which results in understanding, longevity of that relationship, and productivity. When you look at the Bible, in the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 26, the Bible states there that God said, "Let us make man." That shows us that God was conversing. He was communicating his plan of making man. God is a master communicator, and he gave us an example for us to follow. When you read the entire chapter 2 and chapter 3 of the book of Genesis, you will see the communication relationship between God and man. One of the things that communication does in a relationship is that it strengthens the bond in the relationship. And also, communication is meant to be mutual, not one-sided. When communication becomes one-sided, it leads to anxiety, it leads to depression, to blame, to judgment, you see. So communication is meant to be mutual. So we're looking at the causes of lack of communication. If listening to me for a while now and you want, okay, I want to strengthen my relationship with my friend, with my partner, or with my siblings. Now, one of the major, of course, there are several causes of lack of communication in the relationship, but I'll just list that two or three causes of it. Number one cause of lack of communication in the relationship is dishonesty and insincerity. When one partner or both persons are or continuously dishonest, you find this inconsistency in their words and their actions. This leads to lack of communication and can lead to a breakup. The number two cause of lack of communication in any relationship at all is this feeling of being judged. You see, the one person might be like, "Oh, I'm afraid I can't say what is going on because if I say what is going on, I'll be judged." You see, the number three reason is the feeling of not being important, and this can also be seen as the feeling of rejection. You see, and this happens most of the times when the communication is one-sided. Like I said before, communication is supposed to be mutual. So when one person is always checking up on the other person, you're always checking up on your friend, you are the one always doing the calling, sending messages. But for a while, you just feel like you are not needed there, and that can lead to a breakup in a relationship. So having listed out the causes of lack of communication in a relationship, we'll be looking at the ways to improve our communication relationship with other people. Now we have several ways we can improve our communication relationship. but for the purpose of this discussion, I will list out just 3 or 4 ways. So, number one way you can improve your communication relationship with your friend or your partner is to recognize what the issue is. Now, when you recognize what the issue is, you have a conversation. And during the conversation, you practice active listening. What that's when you practice active listening, you are showing that you value your friend, you value the relationship, and you are willing to make adjustments where necessary. So the number two way to improve your communication relationship is during your conversation with your friend or your partner, be present in, in the moment. Be in the moment. What this will help you do is you will not just hear the words that is being communicated by your friend or your partner, you understand the message that is being communicated. You understand your friend's concerns, your partner's concerns, and you will be willing to make adjustments where necessary. Again, this shows that you value that person and you value your friendship, you value that relationship. The number three thing to do is to always check on each other. So number 4 point is to set goals and be willing to compromise to meet each other's need. Another example I would like to give, especially for the parent to child communication relationship. Let's say, for example, a child meets any of the parents, let's say a mother, for example, and the child says to her mom, "Mom, someone asked me out today." If your first response is to shout and beat that child, you are sending the wrong signal, because that child will retract back to their shell and they may not be able to come to you again when something is going on in their life. So of course there's a place for discipline. What I'm saying is, as a parent, create an environment where your child can always communicate what is going on in their lives. If your first response, like I said earlier, is to shout and beat, you'll be sending a wrong signal in the partner, you'll be sending a wrong signal, and you'll be pointing them to a total stranger that might mislead them, and you will not like the outcome. So again, create an environment where your child can always communicate with you what is going on in their mind. Be their friend, be a parent and be their friend. So I would like to hear from you. What do you think? How can we improve our relationship with other people, our relationship with our friends, our families, our colleagues, those in marriage relationship? So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for watching this video. Please do it to like this video and share with your friends, and stay connected for our next video. Bye bye.